Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another How About Them Celtics video. Sam and I are here recording on Friday, October 18th, and we're talking about Jordan Walsh. Jordan Walsh talked at practice today, specifically about some advice that Jrue Holiday gave him. Said, I would say after talking to Jrue a lot, he's told me that whenever you're going 100 miles an hour, you're going to make a mistake. But if you're going 80, 85, you can make that right read, make that right decision, and see the floor clearly 99% of the time. So that's how I kind of took it. Like, let me slow down a little bit. If I can still get my first step off a triple threat and get by somebody. Let me just slow down a little bit so I'm a little more under control so I can see the floor. I can make the right read, stuff like that. And I think you saw the difference between Jordan Walsh in Summer League and Jordan Walsh in the preseason, and that was a big part of it. So clearly, Jrue Holiday's advice is giving Jordan Walsh a little bit of boost.
I didn't realize that I had to hate Jrue Holiday because he sounds like he's a speed limit guy. Like he doesn't think going the fastest you can possibly go is a good thing, which I don't know if I agree with that.
In the context, Jordan Walsh was asked how fast he was going last year. He said, I was going 110, but now I'm trying to chill at a cool 87. So I think he's
Jrue
still
Holiday
going
hit him with a fine.
Yeah, respectable speed, but he's brought it back down to where his license wouldn't get taken away from him on the pike. So that's a good thing.
Listen, man, if Jordan Walsh is keeping his license, it's a good thing because he's looked excellent in the preseason. And I know he spoke to you guys today about it, and he really still needs to carry it over. And he had a very jobs not finished mindset about his performance so far. But after what we saw from him in the summer league, this is just so incredible, and it's it has found money to the extreme degree. I don't know. I can't speak for you, Jack, but I really felt like the Jordan Walsh dream might have been dead after we went out to Vegas, and that was going to be the spot for him to play against lesser competition and really show what he had learned up in Maine all season, and we got a whole lot of nothing. So the fact that he's come out in the preseason ready to play whatever role the Celtics give him, he's able to knock down threes, he's playing good defense, he's proving to be a pest on that end of the floor. All of you Celtics fans out there should be very excited about this because they internally found the replacement for O'Shea Brissett, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Jordan Walsh looked really good. I mean, I am on the Jordan Walsh could play some rotational minutes train this year. I don't think it'll be a lot. I think, like you said, it'll probably be O'Shea. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a little bit more than that as you give guys some rest, like an Al Horford, like a Jrue Holiday, like a Derek White, like maybe the Jays even get a little bit of time off, even though they're not the biggest fans of that. But just throwing him in there in certain spots, letting him make plays a little bit. He also talked about how, like, last year, like he's felt Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, even in the short minutes he's played with them in the preseason, trust him a little bit more. And not in the sense that, like, they wouldn't pass him the ball if he was open, but in the sense that he's like, he effectively said, like, yeah, sometimes they just pass me the ball and said, go make a play. Like that, like having that from the stars, having that from your teammates is a good feeling. So it does sound like he has just grown overall with his confidence, which, I mean, coming into the NBA as a 19-year-old, definitely not easy. I mean, if I was entering a league at 19 where I was the youngest guy there by far and everyone there was professional, I'd probably be a little bit freaked out as well. So to see him make such a big jump from year one to year two, or seemingly so, super encouraging.
The doubleheader against the Charlotte Hornets, April 11th, April 13th, gonna be big Jordan Walsh days, it would seem at this point. Lock it in now. Prediction: Jordan Walsh over 20 points in those games. He may just get extended run every once in a while. You mentioned it with the stars sitting, and his time in Maine will have prepared him for those sort of moments where he is being told to go out there and essentially cook. And the confidence that we saw him develop just over the stretch of 5 games is going to be a great thing too, because he went from hesitating to shoot threes, double pumping, to being so comfortable, so relaxed that he was pretty much driving slower, right? As Jrue Holiday put it, to where he was pump faking and going to the rim and finishing at an impressive rate. Like, these were not easy makes. He was going through tall defenders and putting the ball in the basket. It was really encouraging to see. If he's able to play with that kind of calmness this year, it's going to maybe result in a Grant Williams type that is not incompetent when he puts the ball on the floor.
Yeah, I think you could see some good things from Jordan Walsh, man. Like I said, not a lot of minutes this year, but next year, and as the Celtics roster, I don't want to say slims down, but gets a bit more. Who are you going to have to pay? Who are you going to have to trade?
Program?
Yeah, figure it out. Like, having a guy like that on a cost-controlled contract will be huge, even though by the time that you have to trade one of them, you'll probably have to hand him a new contract anyway. So it's kind of an awkward timing in that sense. But Nice to hear Jrue giving Jordan Walsh a little bit of advice. I know Joe Mazzulla gave him some advice too. This is from NBC Sports Boston and Chris Forsberg. He said, let me find the exact quote here.
Is it
He
from the
gave him
clip?
some advice, said, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I'm online here. I know Jordan Walsh was forced to sing "Boys to Men" to the entire group by Joe Mazzulla last year, which is funny. But he said Joe has a rule where you get one care to give, and then after that you got to let it go. So he's been telling me the biggest thing you can get one care to give. He didn't use care; use a different word, but yeah, one care to give. Also mentioned that the game against the Raptors in Toronto, where he had the potential game winner, Gary Washburn asked him if he got fouled. He said 100%, 1,000% that he got fouled. But then he said, after that, I could just see Joe's face with him thinking, you better not say nothing about the foul. So I just knew that he was thinking, and I didn't say anything in the moment. But Jordan Walsh does think he got fouled at the end of that game. So that's where he stands.
I mean, it was an aggressive play. Like, I was pretty impressed. I think Corrales was the one that pointed out on Twitter, which is a very good point. If he went off of 2 feet instead of 1, he would have been more under control, and he could have pump faked and either drew a foul or had an easy layup off a step through. So all that stuff's pretty important. But just to see him confident enough to take that shot, like it wasn't a wide open lane. He had to create that. He had to beat the guy off the dribble to get there. And that's a start. Overall, I think
Yeah.
we should be very excited about Jordan Walsh. He just looks way different than he did last year. He looks way different than he did in the summer. This is the kind of leap that you hope a guy like he takes entering his second season after they picked him in the second round last year. It's great. And, we may even get to see more, react more to him throughout the regular season and be like, he's even better than we thought he was going to be.
I'm almost more intrigued to see how different he looks in Maine, because the Celtics have done a good job, whether it's Cornette or Hauser, of not saying, okay, here's Maine, go play like a superstar, but here's Maine, go play like you would play in Boston. Like Sam Hauser took a bunch of threes, but he took them all catch and shoot. He wasn't like creating for himself because he could. Luke Cornette was playing at the dunker spot, and you've seen those success stories. So I wonder if you just get a more composed Jordan Walsh, like playing off the ball a little bit with JD Davis and Drew Peterson handling it, taking catch and shoot threes, maybe working off the catch a little bit. So I'm curious to see what his role in Maine looks like this year, because I know it was a bit sporadic and he was a bit erratic, not to rhyme words, at time, even up there. So I think it's gonna be a big year for him. I'm excited, and we'll see what happens. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let us know what you think of Jordan Walsh heading into the year and Drew's advice for him. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like Jack said. Hit the bell. You don't want to miss any of our daily uploads, especially with the season getting underway. We're still going to be here no matter what. Full pods dropping Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps morning after each game. Other videos like this one in between to keep you up to date with everything. We'll also have streams. Pre-game is a half hour before every single game. Talking C's will be back, and I believe we're trying to get the roundtable back too. Should be a very busy season for the whole gang. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple. If you want the pods and recaps, well, you can find them there. Just give us a follow. They'll go right into your feed. We appreciate that very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys. We'll be reading a couple emails on tomorrow's pod, so get those thoughts in as we approach opening night, banner night. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook's the name of the pod. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's at Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Them with France NBA. That's it for us.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus. These guys are ridiculous.